Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm pretty excited for the end of this month. We have 3 new games that I'm going to dive into. One I'm very serious about, the other 2 I'm going to experiment with. Now the games are Stellasaura, which is releasing on the 19th. We've got Chaos Zero Nightmare releasing on the 22nd, and Duet Night Abyss launching on the 28th. So a big week and a bit coming up. Now, full disclosure, Chaos Zero Nightmare is the one I am looking forward to the most, and it is the one I will invest the most into. The other 2 I will play and see how they go and make more content depending on how much I am enjoying those games. But the one I am definitely locked in on the most is Chaos Zero Nightmare. But that's the TLDR of what's happening. I'm going to go in and have a bit of a chat about all of the games in themselves right now, so you guys have an idea of what we are looking at. And also, if you want to check release times, over here on Pridewind, they have the release times. Now, Stellasaura is the only one that has confirmed a release time. Chaos Zero Nightmare and Duet Night Abyss have only done the release date. So these times that they've got listed here are not exactly correct because they haven't announced them. These are just ballparks. Stellasaura, 100%, that is the time they have confirmed. The other 2, we are waiting on final confirmation. I'll probably do either a social post or a video once we actually get release times of these games. The other thing is Pridewind is covering Chaos Zero Nightmare, so they've got a full database. They're going to have guides, all that sort of stuff. Just note there will be some changes from beta, so take everything with a grain of salt that you see based on beta information. The other 2 games, I don't think they are covering on the website, but once again, you can check here and they'll update the times once we get official release time. So massive shout out to Pridewind. So Stellasaura, this one is... We're actually in the field of roguelikes because Stellasaura and Chaos Zero Nightmare. Now, Stellasaura, I did not play any of the betas. My man Chaotic actually played the beta for a fair bit and made a really good video summary where I got most of my information for this video from, because like I said, I haven't been paying close attention to this one. So if you want to check that video, that'll be another link in the description that I will have. Massive shout out to Chaotic. But this game and Chaos Zero Nightmare both kind of have the core mechanics very similar in terms of the roguelike aspect, but then Chaos Zero Nightmare is a card game, and this is an action RPG. So this one is an action RPG where you build your team, you've got your main character and your support characters, and you're going to defeat waves. Now, this looks like more of a mobile-centric game, however, it is available on PC as well, because let's face it, pretty much every game is available on PC these days. I'm looking forward to testing this one on my phone because I do like games that actually play well on the phone. But back to the core systems, it's a roguelike, so you pick your team, you go in, you defeat enemies, you get different upgrade options that you can upgrade, whether it be your main character or your support characters along the way. Then as you progress through, you will complete this whole roguelike system, and then you'll be able to lock in a build for your characters. So you're doing the roguelike to get your build for your character solidified. Then you will take your built characters from the roguelike into the other main modes of the game. So you can always come back, redevelop your character's kit with different enhancements. You might get an upgrade to their passive. Maybe their basic attack has an enhanced effect where now it becomes like a ranged attack or has more slashes with it. There's all those types of things. And then you go in and you take those into the quote unquote end game modes and test out your characters there. I think it's a really fun model for a PvE game. We do have a lot of PvE gotchas out there, and a lot of them lack that sort of sense of variety in them, and I really love the way these games are going down that more roguelike path, and it feels like everything's going to be a bit more spicy. Not everyone's going to be exactly the same, so I really do enjoy that. Once again, this one is an action RPG, which for me, I'm more into turn-based, card-based idle games, just for, I like playing things on my phone, like I said. So I'm more into those ones, but I'm always keen to check out anything that is action RPG. So that is Stellasaura, which will be releasing on the 19th. So if you want to get that one, I will be streaming that one because it comes out at a great time for me. Next up, we have Chaos Zero Nightmare. Now, this is the game I am most excited about. I love card games. I was a big physical card game Yu-Gi-Oh player back in the day, before modern Yu-Gi-Oh became 15-minute turns. I'm just not into that. But this kind of reminds me of that feel. Now, a lot of people compare this to Slay the Spire, which I had never played before. I looked up some videos on it, and yes, it is very close to that. So if you've played Slay the Spire before, you're definitely going to have an idea of what you're coming up for in Chaos Zero Nightmare. Now, with this one, I highly recommend playing the game to see if you like it, as opposed to watching someone play it to see if you like it. It's one of those games, specifically card games, where it's more of the getting your hand and making a decision with the cards that you have that is the enjoyable part, as opposed to just the visuals or just watching someone else play. It's not flashy like that. They do have two good 2D animations and stuff like that, but like I said, to find out if you like it, I would recommend playing it as opposed to watching someone play it, because the difference in actually making decisions is far greater than watching someone else make decisions, if that makes any sense at all. Now, this one is kind of similar to Stellasaura in the way it plays, where you have the roguelike aspect and you're going to bring your 3 characters in, but this time, instead of action RPG, you are playing with a card game. So you have your base deck that your characters will start with. You can evolve their decks and cards as you play through the roguelike. Once you finish the roguelike, you will be able to lock the deck that you have finished with your character in, and then that is the deck that you can go ahead and take into the quote-unquote end game modes and go ahead and test your strength. Once again, very similar to Stellasaura. It's a really nice method for PvE games to add a lot of spice and replayability to the game. So this one I am super looking forward to. Now, they did only have a very short beta, and we are seeing them already make changes based on feedback. So as I mentioned at the start, the guys at Pride Wind do have a database for this game. They're going to have a bunch of guides and stuff on there as well. I will probably do like a pre-release beginner's guide, maybe a reroll guide. As for tier lists and who to reroll and stuff like that, I think it's going to come down to letting the game release and seeing what changes have been made to characters' kits and stuff like that before we actually make decisions on that stuff. So just take with a grain of salt anything you see based on the beta in case things do change. But once again, I may get some other creators on for like a pre-release podcast, because I like doing those. So if you have seen any creators doing Chaos Zero Nightmare content that you want to jump on for a podcast, let me know and I'll reach out to some, because I just like talking about games that I'm excited for. So that is Chaos Zero Nightmare. Once again, card game style. I absolutely love it. If you are a card game player, no matter what card game it is, I highly recommend trying this game, because it's going to scratch that itch really well, especially if you enjoy card games and you enjoy gacha games. It is going to be there. Now, one of the biggest complaints is that it does take the Hoyo-verse summon type systems and stuff like that. They have announced that they are making some changes. So, we're going to have to wait and see exactly how the game pans out and how people feel about it. But for me, I'm just happy to jump in and play some card games in a version of a gacha game. So Chaos Zero Nightmare releasing on the 22nd. I will be streaming this one at launch and probably have some pre-release videos out for your enjoyment. And finally, we have Duet Night Abyss releasing on the 28th. Now, this game I played in the beta. I did a sponsored video. I think I did 2 sponsored videos. I can't remember. You can check out the channel. Just search Duet Night Abyss on the channel if you want to see some gameplay of it. Now, this is I believe these were the first guys, or maybe the second guys. I think it was the first game I heard of to announce that they were actually removing gacha from the game and everything's going to be obtainable. Now, the gameplay of this game was really fun, but things like just doing a resource run felt exhausting to me when I played it. It was fun the first time, but if you had to repeat doing that all the time, I was wondering how the long-term gameplay loop would go. So this game, like I said, it's more hack and slash. It's really nice on the movement and stuff like that. A lot of people compare it to Warframe. I really liked the movement mechanics, the different abilities, the fact that every character can use any weapon, even though some are more specialized in specific weapons. There's all these different ways that you can build your characters based on the gear. Really cool game. My only concern for it is how much will I enjoy it in the long term. So that we will have to wait and see. Now, I will definitely be playing this game at launch, whether it's on this channel or my other channel where I have my podcast with Gacha Smack. I'm yet to decide on that. It'll depend how we're going with Chaos Zero Nightmare. But this game, I really do think it's worth a look, and I'm very curious. And I think it's one of those ones, as we've started seeing games, or as we've started seeing gacha games remove the gacha from the gacha game, which makes them just games, I guess. I'm curious to see what that does in terms of the actual gameplay of the game. Does it make it more mundane? Because these companies are going to want to monetize in some other way if they're not doing the gacha. So I always find that these games, they want to put roadblocks in to make people want to pay. So I'm curious to see how this actually evolves. And this is going to be like the first one of those games that we can actually experiment with it and see how it goes. So I'm definitely keen to jump in, test this game out. I know I like the core gameplay. Let's see if I can like it long term and see what the reception is to the new model of a non-gotcha game, I guess. But that is going to be it, guys. Those are the 3 games we're looking forward to. Just repeating, Stellasaura releasing on the 19th, Chaos Zero Nightmare on the 22nd, and Duet Night Abyss on the 28th. I will be playing all of them, and let me know what ones you guys are going to be playing. But as always, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.